Hi there, welcome back to our channel. My name is Danny. This is my family's mostly vlogging channel. Mainly it's mostly vlogs, like I said, but we also upload sit-down videos. Mainly I upload sit-down videos. Nick and I do have a few planned together that we're gonna upload. Yeah, if you like this video, go ahead, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from us, then hit that red subscribe button and turn on that bell so that way you know when we upload next. And without further ado, let's just jump on into Luna's labor and delivery story, because it is a doozy. So like I said in the last video where I talked about my experience with being 19 and pregnant, like I said in that video, it was like very scary and a bit disheartening, I guess is the right way to put it. Just because I did lose a lot of friends, as you typically do with young pregnancies, just because, when you can't go out and party anymore, you figure out what folks are only there for the party. And pretty difficult pregnancy with Luna in the beginning, just because I was throwing up my guts all the time. And then the third trimester was a hoot and a half because I was in early labor for a month. So if you want all the nitty gritty and like how we told my parents and stuff like that, and just like how my job took it, I'll go ahead and have that video linked down below. Yeah. I was in early labor for a whole entire whopping month and a week with Luna. I didn't even know that that was possible until the third time. I literally just got done telling this. The third time that we went to the ER, and the nurse, I thought, was joking when she was talking about being in early labor. I'm like, ha ha ha, nice one. And she's like, no, you're in early labor. And because of that, my doctor said that she wanted to go ahead and have me induced because she did not want me going until December 1st. Where basically she said that if December 1st rolls around, I'm not dilating, the induction isn't working, Luna would have been a tumor baby. If you're getting your panties in, twist, I too was a tumor baby, don't worry. So my due date was the 27th. Luna wasn't born until the 30th, and my induction date was the 29th. Yes. I was supposed to go into the hospital at 6 o'clock on the 29th, and so I had to stop eating at 4 o'clock. This all is gonna make sense in a second, I promise. Well, I stopped eating at 4 o'clock. And then 5:55 rolls around, and I get a call from the hospital, and they're like, hey, we're really booked up with like people giving birth here, and so we're pushing back your induction time until 8 o'clock. You can't eat for 2 hours before your induction in case there is a C-section, because they don't want your stomach to be full because it causes you to throw up, yada yada yada. And basically by the time they got done telling me that like you still can't eat, it was already 6 o'clock. So I couldn't eat anything. And so this is just the beginning too, guys. And so 8 o'clock rolls around. We're in the car, because at the time we lived down the street from where Luna was born. And so like literally just down the street. And so we're like getting all our bags, getting them loaded in the car, and then we get a call and they're like, hey, would you guys mind waiting to come in until 10 o'clock? And I'm like, we're literally just loading up the bags. I haven't ate anything since 4 o'clock. Can we please come in? And they're like, the earliest we can squeeze you in is about 9:30. It would be much better if you come in at 10. So we're like, okay, I guess I'll come in at 10. I just basically had to like suck it up and not eat. And so finally 10 o'clock rolls around, and we go into the hospital, and we're thinking like that, because nobody's ever explained like the induction process to me before, since Luna's original due, well, first Luna's original due date was November 7th, and then it got pushed to November 15th, and then it got pushed to November 27th. And then I started early labor on October 28th. And so basically we didn't even think that we were gonna have to be induced. Like my doctor, like I was working out, eating healthy, everything was on track. The only thing that wasn't totally on track was my weight gain. But that being said, I only gained like a maximum of 50 pounds total, and 90% of that weight was all gained during the third trimester, mainly during October, which would have been my 8th month. Yeah, no, my 9th month, because pregnancy is 10 months long. That's 5, but like imagine there's another hand over here doing 10. back to the 30th, back to finally showing up to the hospital. Nobody told me how it worked. And so I thought they were going to put me on penicillin. We would probably have Luna come morning time of the 30th. That's not true. Basically, they had to put IV in me, which was the scariest thing in my life because I hate IVs. I hate needles. IVs freak the living crap out of me just because I've seen one too many Grey's Anatomy episodes. I've seen one too many Desperate Housewife episode. It's like one too many like True Mind, Criminal Minds. Basically, I've seen way too many shows showing like the deranged ex-wife pushing like air from a syringe into the IV, and like how like the one tiny little air bubble in your IV can cause you to die. And so IVs freak the living crap out of me. Still kind of do to this day, honestly. And so that was not fun because I had an IV right here. Sorry, that's jittery, but right here in my arm. It was not fun. I hated looking at it. And basically, because it was literally just like an empty IV in my arm. And I was so like irrationally afraid of like my blood spilling out of it. I'm stupid sometimes, okay? I'm like, I let my imagination get the best of me one too many times, okay? I was very freaked out about that to begin with. And then they were like, we're gonna put the Cervigel thing in you, like the little like, honestly, TMI, but this is a labor and delivery story. It basically looks like, you know how like coconut oil is hard and stiff and like a solid form, and then once it warms up, it like melts into oil? Like that, like a ball of coconut oil on a string of floss. And it very much so looked like a diagram of semen. And so that went up my vagina. And I had to sleep with that up in my vagina because it's supposed to help dilate your cervix, because I was stuck at 2 centimeters when we went into the hospital. Because yeah, life's a ball. It was a big worry of ours just because my mom did have to have a C-section with my brother and I, because she never dilated, never got a contraction, none of that stuff. So that was like my biggest fear, was having a C-section, because C-sections are still like your organs get taken out of your body. So no. I mean, if they want to like give me a free little tummy tuck at the end of it, maybe I'll try it, but like your organs get removed from your body, so no. So back on track. Cervigel went up my vagina, slept with it in there. It was the most uncomfortable thing that I have ever done, because I remember they did give me something in my IV to help me sleep, because the Cervigel does cause you to contract, because obviously it's opening your cervix more. And so by like, I think 8 is the time that they came in to wake us up, because they did put like some type of sleeping something into my IV to like make me fall asleep, because I told them, I called the nurse, I'm like, I'm not falling asleep, this is way too uncomfortable, I'm tossing and turning, I can't do this. And I remember I was so scared to sleep with that IV too, because I was like, I'm gonna roll, like, I feel bad for Nick, because I am a tosser and a turner and a kicker and a talker and a mumbler and a snorer when I'm congested. I'm fun to sleep with. Okay. And so I was worried about that, but everything was fine. The nurse did tell me, she's like, you're gonna subconsciously, like, it's not gonna rip out your body, but you will subconsciously know, like, hey, there's something in my arm. And so wake up at 8 o'clock, they're like, congratulations, you're at 4 centimeters dilated, we're gonna finally put the penicillin in you, yay! And I'm just like, woo, let's get this early labor done with. Or wait, no, is it 4 centimeters that you're considered active labor? I think it's 4 centimeters you're considered active labor. Or is that 5? Or does it have to do with how painful the contractions are? All I know is that by the time 10 o'clock rolled around, they're like, my OB came in, because at the time, if you don't know, we went to a birth center, but it's a birth center that's attached to a hospital. I probably should have said this in the beginning. ADD. My videos are all over the place, but it's a fun time, so hit that red subscribe button. You're with a delivery nurse the whole time who just knows how to like monitor your body functions, make sure everything's doing okay, know like how far along your contractions are, how to check the cervix, that whole deal. Our delivery nurse was such a sweetheart. I feel so bad for her because I was such a bitch at the end of it, but like they made me hold her in, so what you would expect. She was such a sweetheart. She was so sweet and nice throughout it all. Anytime I was like, can I move and do this? Can I try this out? Can I do this? Can I do that? They were like totally okay with it. Like she hooked me up so then I could like go stand in the shower, but I'm getting like farther down on the, like jumping around on the timeline real quick. So we'll get back to that, but like weird things happen when you're in labor. But I'm pretty sure it's just because it was a shower and not a bathtub, because we wanted a room with a bathtub, but they were too full. Obviously, since my induction time got pushed back from 6 o'clock all the way to 10. So back on track, 10 o'clock the next day, I already have the penicillin on. We're at 10 o'clock again. Rolls around, my OB comes in. She's like, okay, you're up to a 5. Congratulations, just start moving around, do all the stuff that you were preparing for to do in labor. So Nick and I get our playlist going on our speaker. Literally 2 songs come out. What were they? Fuck. How am I forgetting this? I literally remember everything from this except for the 2 songs. The only 2 songs that we gotta play from my birthing playlist with her. One of them was Luna from Smashing Pumpkins. It's just this really beautiful, slow, a little bit melancholy, that word, sounding, but it's Smashing Pumpkins. All of their music is pretty melancholy. Why can I not talk today? I know I'm saying that wrong and I'm sorry. Melancholy. I'm like saying Connie and it's supposed to be a Coney, but I can't say melancholy. No, that's not right. Oh, okay. My brain's fried. I got like no sleep last night. Sorry guys. Anyways, that song, and then what was it? It's one of Nick and mine's songs. It might have been Perfect, but I don't think it was Perfect by Ed Sheeran. Cause like we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. So back on track. I'm gonna say that so many times during this video. Where was I at? We were at 10 o'clock. I need more coffee. God, what is that song? It'll pop up every now and then. I'll have my Luna's birthing playlist linked down below because there's a few songs on there that are like really, really good to listen to when you're you're birthing and stuff, and like trying to like take the edge off and like be more like focused on like your daughter, like seeing your daughter. Oh, not If I Tremble, but it's the there's these 2 indie songs where one of them by the same, I think they're the same artist, or like they're very similar sounding, and one of them is like the guy's like talking to his like daughter and is like, I'm gonna be here for you, I'm going to protect you, I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna make sure you have the best life in the world. And then the other one is like, I tremble at the sight of you, it's not because I'm cold, it's because I'm looking at the woman I'm gonna hold when I grow old. And it's just like so beautiful. It's called If I Tremble. Can remember that one, but can't remember the other one. I think it was If I Tremble, but because that's like one of Nick and mine's song because we have a million. But anyways, we only got to listen to 2 of like pretty long birthing playlist that I made for it to like give birth to Luna, because I was hoping that like the song Luna would play when I was giving birth to her. I'm weird, I know. We only got 2 songs in, and then the speaker died on us, and then the oil, we used a massage bar to like help like with my backaches and stuff, but it wasn't really doing anything to help with my backaches. And the hospital, even though it's completely legal where we were at, would not let me use CBD oil, the cannabinoid and cannabis that is responsible for all the medical benefits that it requires. It is not the psychedelic, which is THC. CBD has no psychedelic effect on you. It literally just like helps with backaches, helps with anxiety, helps with depression, helps with pain. It's a miracle worker, and it's all natural, which I was trying to have a natural birth, but I had to be induced. But I didn't get a painkiller, but we'll get to that. But the hospital wouldn't let me use any for some reason. I don't know. I think it's just because it's Kansas, and at the time we still had Yoder. Ew, I know. Sorry for getting political there. But so that flew out the window, not literally, but like that option got out the window. And so then we tried to get into the shower to like help, because I was having such bad back pains, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to get epidural. That, and I have really bad scoliosis. but I was having such horrible back pains that we tried to get into the shower, and the shower actually made it worse. Like, you would think that the like spray from the shower head would like help massage your back some. No, that made it worse. Like, Nick touching my back made it worse, where basically like him and I, a majority of the time, had to like sit there standing up of like him bracing me and me like putting my arms around him and just like swaying back and forth and like doing squats while watching Doctor Who. Which brings us to the funny part. This is now 12 o'clock. No, it's 12:30ish, and our delivery nurse comes in and she's like, all right, time to check you guys. She's like, you guys are still stuck at 5. And I asked her how long it would take, and I guess with penicillin, it could take up to 48 hours. It wasn't like the contractions were bad, but they weren't like, I had a recurring ovarian cyst for like 5 years. So my period cramps were from hell, like actually from hell. And so my contractions at 5 centimeters weren't like really phasing me too much, just because I was used to it. Cause I'm just like, this is like my mild period cramps. It's whatever. And basically I know I'm a badass, but back to his story, I messaged my best friend Christian, and I'm like, hey, fellow Whovian, they just showed like the backstory of River Song, but they stopped it right after they find the astronaut suit. Like, they did all the build-up episodes and then stopped it right after they find the astronaut suit, and River Song's like, And so I asked him to bring astronaut episodes. That's not the actual songs. What is that part called? Anyways, I asked him to bring over the episodes because he has all the Doctor Who series downloaded onto his laptop, and so he was going to bring it over and we were going to watch it since it was taking so long. And the nurse was like, oh yeah, this could take up to 2 days. And so I was like, okay, let's just watch some Doctor Who and chill out, I guess. And still couldn't eat anything. Still haven't ate anything, by the way, since well before 4 o'clock of the previous day. And so we're still sitting there, and I'm like bouncing around on a ball, and I start to bleed some. And so my nurse orders me to get back into the bed. So we're like laying back down on the bed, kind of like shifting sides back and forth because the pain starts to get worse. It starts to be more and more like my like severe period cramps, which is like very, very bad. Like, my severe period cramps will wake me up from REM sleep, literally wake me up from REM sleep. I shit you not. And and so bad. Like, unless you've dealt with recurring ovarian cysts or have gone through labor without any pain medication, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then you don't. They come and check again, and they're like, it looks like you're at 5.5, but you're still not progressing like we'd like. And so my doctor comes in and she checks me, and she's like, yep, you're at 5.5, still not progressing as fast as we were thinking that you would. So if you don't progress by tonight, like I think it was 8 o'clock that night that she said, then we are probably going to have to schedule you for a C-section, which is, again, to this day, like my biggest fear. I know if it does have to happen, like everything will be fine, everything will be okay, because that's just like the way that things plan out for us at that time. But still, biggest fear, organs coming out of me, no thank you, no bueno, nuh-uh. And so OB leaves to go deliver another baby. She like delivered 5 babies, more than 5 babies that day. When she leaves, I hear this blood-curdling scream coming from the hallway, which freaks me out. And literally freaks me out. Like, we hear it, Nick and I lock eyes, and I'm like, help. Literally, I'm like, boo, I don't want to do this. I'm like, I'm holding her in. She's not coming. We're not doing this. I'm not giving birth. No. And he's like, Danielle, you got this. It's okay. You've been preparing for this. You've been doing those workouts. You've been doing evening primrose oil. You've been doing squats. You've been doing all the yoga positions. You got this. You can do it. You're a strong, badass mama. I'm here for you. Like, just be Nick. Nick just being Nick. Meaning Nick just being like a supportive, amazing, caring, wonderful husband. And then the contractions take a drastic turn. They literally get like, I cannot talk during them anymore. All I can do is make like that face and like moan like a frickin' mule. I swear to God, that's like the sound that came out of my mouth. I was like, like type of like, not really that, but like just like the weirdest like moans came out of my mouth while I was having like those contractions. And then, what was it? 2:30 rolls around. My doctor checks me and she's like, okay, you're at 6.5. You're about 6.5, 7. If you want the epidural, if you want the painkillers, if you want me to put something in the IV to kill the pain, now is the time because you cannot get it past 7 centimeters. And in my head, I was like, okay, I can do this. This is pretty bearable. I got this. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I was built to do. Women are built to do this. So many women have done this so much before me. Animals are doing it right now as I'm thinking about this. Other women in third world countries are doing this right now as I think about this without any painkillers, without any reassurance of a hospital around them. I have got this. I can do this. I am strong. I am a woman. I am meant for this. Like going through like all the affirmations that Pinterest gave me. literally if you look at my like, was it cake in the oven board, it's just a bunch of those like women Mandela sketches saying like, I am strong, I am a woman, I am built for birth, I've got this, like all the affirmations for you to like tell yourself while you're like giving birth, so that when you're doing a natural birth. And so I'm just like going through all of that. Nick's going through all of them and reading them off to me, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait. I'm just gonna wait, like give it another hour, because at the time I was progressing like a centimeter every 2 hours pretty much. And so I was like, I'll just give it another hour, and if they can become unbearable, then like we'll do it. And then right after that, my best friend comes in, and he's like literally walking in, just like holding his laptop, just like do. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? I'm like, get the fuck out, because I'm like in the middle of a contraction, and I like point at him to get out the door, because I was like in the middle of a contraction. I'm like turning it, like curling into Nick, and I'm just like, this is so painful. Oh my goodness. So I'm like yelling, and he's like, okay, all right, see ya, and like walks out the door. I felt like 3 hours had passed, but really it had to only have been like 20 minutes tops, because she checked me at 2:30, and then she checked me again at 2:55 is when she came back in the room, because I remember she called the time. And because I'm like, okay, I cave, give me the pain medicine, give me the epidural, give me something. I cannot do this. I need the painkiller now. And she's like, okay, let me check it. And like literally as she's like getting her equipment ready to like check my cervix and see how everything is, I'm like, give me the epidural, give me the painkiller, give me the painkiller. She's like, let me check you. Hold on. I need to make sure you're not 7 centimeters. And so she like checks me, and she's like, okay, so you're fully dilated and baby's head is right there. Can you, how do you feel? And I'm like, I feel like shit. And she's like, okay, well, you're not going to be able to do the epidural. You're not going to be able to do a painkiller because you're at 10 centimeters. And I'm like, I don't care. Give me the painkillers. And she's like, no, you can't have it. I'm like, give me the painkiller. And she's like, you can't have it. I literally look at Nick and I'm like, I'm not having this baby. She's like, you can do this, boo. It's being such a little bitch at this point. And then finally I think it felt like it had been 20 minutes, but again, it had to only have been like a minute or two. And like she's getting ready to leave, and I'm like, I think I'm ready to push, because I'm like, I feel like, and I'm like, I don't know what pushing feels like. And I just remembered all the horror stories about people pushing too early or like not pushing soon enough, and so like their baby's like stuck in their like pelvic bone. And I'm just like, I think I'm ready to push. And so she's like, okay, let me get my stuff back on, let me like check you again, and we're gonna do a practice push. And I like did a practice push, and she's like, oh, stop. Like she's literally like, I'm not even done doing my practice push, and she has like her hand like in my vagina, just like holding, like cradling Luna's head. Like I could feel her cradling Luna's head. Oh my goodness. I'm talking about some woman's hand up my vagina cradling my baby's head as I give birth. Okay, hi, yes, this is what childbirth, the reality of childbirth for you. So she's cradling Luna's head, and before I hadn't even finished like a good second into the push, and she's like, stop. And I'm like, what? Is she okay? Is she fine? And she's like, everything's fine. she's gonna come out fast, but like you need to hold her in so that your doctor can get here to give birth, because we have like no doctors on staff. We have one doctor who's like all the way on the other side of the hospital right now on his break, and then your doctor is currently giving delivering a baby in an emergency C-section, so like you need to hold her in. And I'm like, you want me to hold her in? And she's like, yes, I need you to hold her in. Can you do that for me? I'm like, I'll try. And I think it felt like I was literally like breaking Nick's hand. Like, I am so thankful for my man, because I seriously was breaking his hand, like clenching onto it as I was like doing like freaking Kegel exercises around Luna's head, trying to hold her in so that way my OB can get there on time. And then finally, I felt like an eternity, but had it only been 5 minutes, and I was like, I can't hold this fucking baby in any fucking longer. I need to fucking push. And then my doctor just like burst into there. And it was like 3 o'clock, I'm pretty sure, because she wrote down the time. She like said the time, or like I looked at the time, or Nick looked at the time or something. Somebody said 3 o'clock. I know that. And she like burst in the door and she's like, all right, you ready to have this baby? And I'm like, yes, I'm fucking ready to have this baby. Like, thanks for joining the party, bitch. Sorry for all the cussing. It comes in, I'm like, she's like, okay, we're gonna get all this stuff together. And like they're getting all this stuff together, they're removing like the bottom half of the bed and getting me up in the stirrups and stuff. And then finally I'm able to push, and I'm like pushing for like, God, I'm like, I can feel the ring of fire right now. I'm literally feeling the ring of fire, like a phantom ring of fire right now as I'm thinking about it. But that's why, but basically I was like pushing and pushing and pushing, and I think I might have hemorrhaged a little bit. I'm probably being over dramatic here, but like the doctor's like, Danielle, you need to stop, because I was like pushing and pushing. I'm like, I'm getting this baby out, I'm getting this baby out, I'm getting this baby out. She's like, you need to stop, you need to take a breath. And I'm like, okay. And then they had an oxygen mask for me, because when I was a kid I had sports induced asthma, and so they had an oxygen mask with me. And side note, I highly recommend getting an oxygen mask when you give birth, because the reason why oxygen masks come down when the plane's crashing is because the increased levels of oxygen to your brain kind of acts as a little happy drug and makes you just okay with everything. It makes you go with the flow and like take the edge off and be nice and happy and like at peace. And so I'm like sitting there with like the oxygen mask like crunched to my face, like taking a breath. And I just like remember she's like, okay, so we can either rest. She's like, give me another push, and I give her another push, and she's like, all right, you have like 1 or 2 more pushes now, because I had 3 pushes. I had done 3 big pushes at the time. And she's like, okay, you have like 1 or 2 more pushes now, and we can either take a break or we can go now. I'm like, I need to take a break. And I was like breathing the oxygen mask, and I hear like my heart rate, like, I don't know if it dropped or not for sure, but the machine sounded like how it does on TV shows when the heart rate starts to drop. And I just see this like granted, it's probably the operation light and like the adrenaline rush and the extra oxygen and yada yada yada, but I'm gonna go with my story and what I felt. Okay. And so I just saw this, like, the light just like got bigger and like brighter. And I just like, I could sense, how certain people just have an energy about them where like your mom has like that energy around her, or like that scent to her, or just like the way that that like, hey, that's my mom that's like walking up behind me, or like, hey, that's my husband that's walking up behind me, or that's my brother or my dad, like something like that. So like I could like sense my grandma, and then like I could just like feel like her presence there in the room, and then I could like feel her, I could feel my great grandma on my mom's side, who I've really only met once, but like I just like knew that she was there. I could just like feel all my maternal ancestors there with me and guiding me and helping me, and just like just being like, Danielle, you got this and you need to push. And so I like take one big more gulp into like the oxygen mask, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then I like push with all my might. Then the doctor's like, okay, that's great. That was a really good push. You gotta do one more and then she'll be here. And so I grab onto Nick's chest as I'm like, okay, this is the final push. I knew in my hearts of hearts that was the final push. And the doctor was like, you have one more push. Just give me one more big push and your daughter will be here. And so I'm like, I'm breaking Nick's hand in the middle of the push. And so as the doctor's like, put your butt down, Danielle, because I have my butt sticking up in the air, which don't do, because that's how you rip the skin between your vagina hole and your booty hole. We're real classy in this video, huh? Yeah. Subscribe, guys. And so I like switch from crushing Nick's hand to I go to like grab onto his shirt so I'm not hurting him, but I accidentally end up grabbing like a fistful of his chest hair and chest skin, basically trying to like rip his heart out like a hybrid over here, you know, Wolf Queen of the Bayou and all. And so with the final push, Luna was born on November 30th at 3:38 p.m. My beautiful 8.9 pound, 14.5 inch head circumference, which is like big old giant ass head. Like, literally next thing I know, I hear like one little tiny wah, and like for a millisecond, I was like scared that something was wrong because all I heard was a little tiny cry, and then that was it. And then she was like on my chest, and she was just eyes wide open, looking up at me, looking over at Nick, looking back at me, and like lays down just like that. And I'm just like, look at this beautiful little perfect purple baby, my little K-State fan. She came out purple because she a true wildcat. Jokes aside, but literally she was like this perfect little angel, just like laid on my chest, just taking in the world with her eyes, no cries, just she was perfect, so perfect. 5 push baby, literally. And for those of you wondering what it feels like to give birth, it does hurt. Like the contractions and the stitches hurt worse than giving birth. I shit you not. And that's like on penicillin, which I hear that giving birth, like the contractions on penicillin are a lot worse since it's not a gradual, like your body's like building you up for it. It's like a boom, 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 boom type of thing. Or for my case, boom, 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 boom. But like that, like giving birth on penicillin with no pain meds, 14.5 inch head circumference, which is in the 99th percentile for head circumference, which means that she had a big ass head, 8.9 pounds. And I am telling you that pushing her out hurt a lot less than the 10 centimeter contractions and the stitches. The stitches are what hurt the worst, honestly. The stitches hurt the absolute worst. I literally, like, my toes are like curling and like my vagina is clenching as I'm saying this right now. I like had to stop myself and like it was difficult not to move during those. That hurt so badly. Literally the stitches are the worst. That's why I'm like, anytime anybody's like, what would you do differently for your next pregnancy? And I'm like, I would do the perineal massages, the ones where you massage your vagina and the skin between the vagina hole and the butthole, so that way it doesn't tear, because I had to get one on top and then one on bottom, and that shit hurt. I shit you not. Feels like you're taking a giant massive shit. But also throw in like your period cramps and whatnot. And typically people poop during it, but I didn't poop, so that was cool. Because I could have sworn that I was gonna poop. But that is the story of Luna's birth, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you tomorrow in our next video, which will probably be a vlog. I hope you guys have an amazing day or night, whichever it is, whatever time it is you're watching this. And if you have not yet seen my 19 and pregnant video, I will have that linked down below so you can go watch it. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I hope you have a wonderful day. And if anybody else who is contemplating a all-natural birth watches this, I hope this helps eases your fears. Seriously, it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. And I highly recommend it to everybody to just try it all natural at least once. It's not as bad as it seems like it'll be. Like, we were built for this. We were meant for this. If you can do it, then do it, because it is the most surreal experience you could ever feel. And I am so incredibly grateful that I got the chance to experience it every single day. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful one. Good night.